Hi everyone, welcome to Medicine for the Soul. My name is Sarah. Today's yoga for healing practice is focused on our lower backs. Let's get started. We'll start in a comfortable seated position on your mat, legs crossed. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can elevate your hips on a blanket, or you can have your legs outstretched. So we've got options. Let's close our eyes to get started and just rock side to side, finding your sits bones, getting grounded here on your mat, transitioning from whatever you were just doing to come practice on your mat. Let's take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Imagining there is a string pulling the crown of our heads towards the ceiling. Long spine, shoulders are back and down. Let's do one more deep breath here, in through the nose and out through the nose. And after your last exhale, you can flutter your eyes open, bring your hands to your knees or your thighs, coming around into some seated circles. So let's inhale in the center here. Exhale. Bring your upper body over, down, and around and back up. Continue this at your own pace, with your own breath. Just waking up our core, waking up our lower back, giving our internal organs a nice massage. Let's do 2 more times in this direction. And let's switch direction and switch the cross of your legs if you have them crossed. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's do 2 more in this direction as well. And come back to an upright position. Let's inhale, both arms up to the sky. Look up at the top. Left hand grabs your right wrist, and exhale over to the left, gazing right. Sits bones both still grounded on your mat. On your next exhale, gently come back to center. Release your arms. Inhale, arms up. Let's switch sides. Right hand grabs your left wrist. Exhale over to the right and gaze left. Again, being mindful of your sits bones, grounded on your mat. And on your next exhale, come back to an upright position. Release your arms. We're going to come onto our backs now. So gently lower down to your mat. Keeping your knees bent, feet flat on your mat. Bring your hands to your hips for some pelvic tilts. So let's just relax here for a second. Find your neutral spine. So that means that there's space between your lower back and the mat. That's a natural curve of your spine. So in this neutral spine position, we're going to inhale. Exhale, tilt your pelvis back, flattening your back to your mat. Inhale, neutral spine. On the exhale, really engage your lower abdominals. Imagine you're trying to bring your hip bones together, so those deep core muscles. Continue at your own pace. Let's do 2 more. And come back to a neutral position. Cross your ankles. We're gonna just rock up using our elbows for support and come onto your hands and knees. So hips above your knees, shoulders above your wrists. On the inhale, we're going to drop the belly, lift the tailbone, gaze forward. Exhale, pushing the mat away from you, tucking your tailbone, gaze towards your navel. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now on the inhale, you still want to keep that space between your shoulder blades. So we still want to continue to push the mat away from us. 1 more. Now bring your knees wide, feet closer together. Bring your seat back towards your heels and reach forward to the top of your mat, bringing your forehead to the mat. Couple deep breaths here in child's pose. Feeling your ribs expand. Feeling your lungs expand with your breath. And on your next exhale, come back up to an all fours position. Extend your right leg back. Extend your left leg back, coming into a plank position. Inhale, gently lower down to your mat on the exhale. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now in this down dog, you can walk your feet out, waking up your hamstrings. It's also great for your lower back to walk your dog, as they say. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump forward to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Keeping your knees bent if you need to. It'll be a little easier on your lower back if you keep your knees bent. Inhale, rise up, arms up. Exhale, arms down by your side into Tadasana. Our feet, our hips width distance apart, shoulders back and down. Our lower abdominals are engaged. Chin is slightly back, and we're still imagining that long spine here. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold, bending your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the mat. Step back and lower down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time in down dog, on the inhale, we're going to bend our knees slightly. Exhale, extend. Inhale. Exhale. This is a great movement for your lower back as well. If it's tight, continue at your own pace. Let's do one more breath. On your next inhale, make your way to a forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. All the way up, arms up, gaze towards the ceiling. And exhale. Being mindful of our alignment here as we move on to our next position, which is chair pose. So inhale, arms up, seat back. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the mat. Step your left foot back. Frame your right foot with your hands in a lunge position. Back heel is lifted. Take a couple deep breaths here. On your next inhale, rise up, arms up, seal your left heel to the mat. You can heel toe your feet out a little bit as we come into warrior one. Left foot turned out slightly. Hips are square to the front of the mat. Shoulders back and down. Deep breath here. On your next inhale, straighten your right leg, turn your left foot out 90 degrees. As we exhale into warrior two, you can rebend your right knee, being mindful of your alignment. Your right foot is in line with your left arch. And gaze out over your right middle finger, really engaging our lower abdominals here. Shoulders away from the ears. Deep breath here. On your next inhale, straighten your right knee. Flip your right palm. Exhale, shift to the right. Bring your right hand down to your right ankle. Left arm up towards the ceiling. Gaze up towards your left hand in triangle pose. On your next exhale, come back up to warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, windmill your hands down to the mat. Step your right foot back and lower down. Inhale. Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feel free to either walk your dog here or bend your knees on the inhale and exhale, straighten. Feels really great on the lower back. Let's do 3 more breaths here. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, step your left foot forward, framing your left foot with your hands. Back heel is lifted. A couple deep breaths here in this lunge, runner's lunge. On your next inhale, we're coming up to warrior one. Readjust your right foot, turned out slightly. Heel is sealed to your mat. Again, you can heel toe your feet out to make this pose a little bit more comfortable with a wider stance. Hips square to the front of your mat. One more deep breath here. On your next inhale, straighten your left leg, turn your right foot out, and rebend your left knee, coming into warrior two. Again, being mindful of your alignment here. We want to imagine that our backs are up against a wall. So we're nice and tall, nice, tall, straight, gazing out over your left middle finger. One more deep breath here. On your next inhale, straighten your left leg, flip your left palm. Exhale, shift forward. Bring your left hand to your left ankle or your shin. Right arm reaches high towards the ceiling and gaze towards your right hand. One more deep breath here. On your exhale, come back up to a warrior two position. Inhale. Exhale, windmill your arms back down to your mat. Step your left foot back and lower down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, taking whatever down dog you like here. Let's stay here for 2 more breaths. 1. 2. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, wave forward to a plank and lower down to your mat. Coming into a Sphinx position, we're going to have our forearms parallel to each other on our mat. Shoelace side of your feet resting on your mat. Pelvis slightly pressing down in towards your mat. Toes pointed. Shoulders away from your ears. Gaze is out in front of you, but slightly down. But we're still imagining that string pulling the crown of your head towards the ceiling. So this is a very active pose, although it may not look like it. This pose is great for restoring the natural curve of our lumbar spine, which can get out of whack the more we sit, whether we're driving or working, doing a lot of sitting. It's a great counter pose. Let's do one more deep breath here. After your last exhale, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's stay here for one deep breath. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. If you have blocks, now would be the time to grab those or any prop that you use in place of blocks and just have them handy. So we're going to take both hands on the inside of our right foot and kind of heel toe your right foot out to the edge of your mat. Left knee is resting on your mat. You can have your toes pointed or tucked. We're going to come down. You can lower down to your mat if you like, if you're feeling that today. I'm gonna bring my forearms down to blocks here in this deep hip opener. Don't forget to keep your abdominals engaged, protecting your lower back. Let's do 2 more deep breaths here. Really open those hips up. 1, 2. On your last exhale, you can put your blocks aside, but still within reach. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, step your right foot back into a plank, and push back into downward facing dog. Again, taking any form of down dog that feels good to you right now. Let's do 1 more deep breath here. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step your left foot forward in a lunge. Bring both of your hands on the inside of your left foot, heel toeing your left foot out to the side of your mat or the edge of your mat. Bring your right knee down to your mat. Hopefully your right foot is already there. And grab your blocks if you would like to use them or whatever you have handy. Bring your forearms down to your blocks. And still, even in this position, we're remembering our long spine. So the crown of our head is pointed towards the front of our space. Keeping a strong core. Let's do 1 more deep breath here. And on your next exhale, you can put your blocks all the way to the side as we won't be using them again. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, bring your left foot back, and push back into a downward facing dog. Let's do 2 breaths here. 1, 2. On your exhale, bring your knees to the mat, coming into cat-cow position. So hips over your knees, shoulders over your wrists. On the inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, gaze forward. Exhale, push the mat away from you. Tuck your tailbone, gaze towards your navel. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Come to a neutral spine. Bring your knees wide, feet closer together. Bring your seat back. Reach your arms towards the top of your mat. Bring your forehead to the mat. Deep breath here in child's pose. On your exhale, lift your forehead, walk your hands over to the left, and bring your forehead back down to the mat. Continue your deep breathing here. And on your next exhale, lift your forehead off the mat, walk your hands to the right, and bring your forehead down to the mat. Lift your forehead, come back to center, walk your hands back so you're in an upright position. Let's come to a comfortable seat. Getting grounded again, feeling those sits bones underneath you. Let's inhale, arms up. Exhale, left hand comes to your right knee. Right hand comes behind you for support. And gaze out over your right shoulder. Still keeping that long spine. We're engaging our abdominals. Shoulders away from the ears. On your next exhale, come back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right hand to your left knee. Left hand comes behind you for support. On the exhale, you can see if you can deepen your twist by bending your elbow a little bit. On your next exhale, come back to center. Gonna be transitioning to our backs now. So gently lower down and hug your knees in towards your chest and rock side to side. Bring your knees back, your feet back to the mat. You can bring them a little wider than sits bones distance apart and gently drop them over to one side and then the other. A nice lower back release here. Some windshield wipers. And hug your knees in again. And shine the soles of your feet towards the ceiling, keeping your knees bent. Grab the outsides of your feet or your ankles or your shins in happy baby and rock back and forth. You can kind of pull your feet or your legs down towards the mat for a deeper stretch here. And release your feet back down to the mat, coming into our final resting pose. Find a comfortable position for you, legs stretched down the mat. You can keep your knees bent if that is easier on your back. You can walk or heel toe your feet out to the edges of your mat and knock your knees in. That seems to be a nice gentle resting pose for your lower back. Arms can come down by your sides, palms facing the ceiling, or one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Whatever is comfortable for you today. And let's take a deep breath in through the nose. We're going to release through our mouth. So let's inhale, really fill the chest, expanding your ribs, filling the belly. And sigh it out. Shavasana. Begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring awareness back to your body on your mat. Roll onto one side, keeping your eyes closed. Take a deep breath here on your side. And gently push yourself up to a seated position. Keeping your eyes closed, bring your hands to heart center. Deep breath here. Bring your thumbs to your third eye. The light in me sees the light in all of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. See you soon.